Right, Summer Del Piso here. I don't think we understand really, guys, how bad pornography is for us. I think we sort of, even the people on semen retention that are on this practice or have started the practice, whether they've done that or have been on the practice for a very long time, I think we think of pornography as something that you could just indulge in once, right? Or a few times, do the deed, you release your seed, and then that's it. You don't understand, of course, the metaphysical implications, but a lot of people are men of science and logic. So there are a lot of those type of penalties, biological penalties, that that need to be heeded and understood. So what we doing, I know for Rich Wealthy, one of our longtime supporters of the channel, one of our longtime subscribers, he liked these kind of videos, me coming out here doing these calisthenics and whatnot. So I'm gonna show you one of my circuits, again, one of my supersets, as you will. We're gonna get that done. And then as we're doing it, we're gonna talk about why pornography is so bad. So like, comment, subscribe, guys, let's get right into it. So of course, on a basic level, right? We know that pornography, when indulged in physically, you lose your vital energy, right? 8. Pornography falls into the category of being a super stimuli. I don't think we really understand what that is. Things like hamburgers, pizza with pepperoni and a whole bunch of toppings, super sugary ice creams, those are all under the category of super stimuli because they overload the parts of the body that process those different types of tastes, whether it be in hamburgers, fries. It's a whole bunch of concentrated sodium, ice cream, whole bunch of concentrated sugar. For pornography, it is a complete overload of the dopamine sensors, right? The receptors, sorry. And the more you overload the dopamine sensors, you are causing the body to have a different equilibrium, a different homeostasis than it usually does. The problem is not the pornography itself. The problem is really the body adapting to this new type of super stimuli, which the body always does. That's why we're here. Let's carry on with our superset. I'm doing 15 squats. It's kind of easy, honestly. As the body sort of reaches its new homeostasis with the super stimuli, right? Was it 7, 8, 9, 10? The body adapts, right? And now it is used to a completely new type of pleasure, or you need to actually, in layman's terms, indulge way more than you did the first time around in order to get the same desired effect, the same initial pleasure. Let's go and do some dips. We're gonna do 5 of these things in total, guys. 5 supersets. It's not even bad. So as the body is adapting to this new type of stimuli that you're overloading it with every time you indulge in pornography, the person now is unconsciously searching for more grotesque acts, more very, very lewd and licentious videos in order to try to obtain that pleasure that they initially had when they first indulged. And it just can't be obtained because the more you overload the dopamine receptors with this super stimuli, a lot of those receptors die, first off. And 2, you're going to need more dopamine receptors in order to get that same hit naturally because the receptors died. That is the issue. Of course, on a metaphysical level, we lose our spiritual energy, we lose our vital energy, our mental energy especially. And there is a lot of that cannot be reobtained, no matter what you do, no matter how you try to eat a lot of, change your diet, have a lot of fruits in your diet, alkaline diet, you stave off alcohol, you still are going to be locked into that new maximum base of strength and mental energy limit. That is the issue. As I say on the channel, you guys all know this. Stay away from pornography. Stay away from anything lewd, anything sexual. You need to even be more careful about the people that you're speaking to, right, that will inadvertently manipulate you, right, in a mental sense. Of course, I talk about it in terms of like social groups, social activities. The majority of individuals in this place, that's their God, the God of sensation. Even if you form that psychic shield, right, that metaphysical shield, that's only developed when you're on this practice of semen retention and you're controlling your urges. You are still apt to be affected and manipulated by these individuals because there's a majority Aldous said it very, very well himself, very succinctly. The hive mind. The hive mind is incredibly dangerous and everyone, no matter how much of a genius you are, you could even be Stephen Hawking to Mark Twain to Charles Darwin. Your shields are not strong enough, no matter what you do, to fortify and defend yourself against the hive mind manipulation, which will cause you to sin eventually. Let's do some more. Honestly, I think this is our fourth set right here. So, what do we do? You know what I mean? We are sort of stuck in a world where the majority loves to indulge, right? We need this world to some degree in order to live, to have sustenance. Let's go do our body weight squats. We sort of need the modern world, right, in order to survive, to pay for our bills, right? We don't necessarily need the social activities and whatnot in there. So what do, right? Of course, the best thing to do is limit yourself, limit the contact you have with individuals that broadcast this type of behavior or believe in this type of behavior, and you could perceive that through their actions. I think there's 13 right here. I think there's 14, 15. I'll do an extra 2 just in case, right? That's just the long, the tall, the short. The thing is, what's also dangerous about pornography is that it unwillingly and subconsciously programs you, erodes your belief system, so you discard your dreams. There are many, many dreams in the metaphysical mental ether, disposal bin, if you will, of the males that have discarded their dreams in order to succumb to the ways of the world because they have masturbated so much. When you all begin your life, right, kindergarten, pre-K, whichever, your scholastic journey, we have like this assignment where people the teachers would ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? And the kids, they're so creative, of course, because when you're young, you have a reservoir of creative energy, sexual energy. They say things like, I want to be an astronaut. I want to be an electrical engineer. I want to be a firefighter, right? And then slowly but surely, they get older, inadvertently or directly, they get exposed to pornography, they indulge, and then they lose those beliefs, they lose those dreams, and then they sort of succumb to the ways of the world. They become something else entirely from what they used to aspire towards because they don't have the mental energy, that cutting energy, to actually achieve those dreams. This is what pornography does. This is why it's incredibly dangerous. Of course, as us retainers, we know that the longer that we stay on this practice, the longer that we obtain and cultivate our energy, we're actually wasting a little time. Let's do some dips. We know that the longer we are on this practice, we sort of get our dreams back, which is kind of crazy. You sort of understand what the Bible was talking about when they said, you must be as a child in order to enter the King of Heaven, the kingdom. I'm not talking about a literal child. You go in a time machine and you sort of end up, as the child form, you go all the way to the end of life. Then you say, hey God, I'm ready, right? That's not how it works. It's the whole idea of maintaining the spirit of a child, right? That adolescent spirit as you get incredibly old and you get older, right? You become a senior citizen. You do not judge, you remain curious and naive in a very, very positive, optimistic way. And you don't sort of try to spread malevolent activity or malevolent deeds or anything. And that's how you enter. Seriously, it's very, very simple. I have sort of tried my best at doing this. Doing pretty well, honestly. No, seriously. I still have, listen, you can catch me on any given day at home acting out the scenes of the Advent Children movie or some Shin Megami Tensei fighting scenes, right? Because I will always be perpetually in that childlike mind state, endlessly curious and completely wrapped in reverie, right? Although I'm putting my other foot in the world of the practical. We know, to sum up, right? Stay away from pornography, obviously, because long, the tall, and the short, it destroys your dopamine receptors. So even all of your actions, all of the activities that you commit here in this physical reality will have less of a punch, less of a fervor, because your dopamine receptors are just not there to really capture the beauty of the perpetual existing moment. Of course, that has to do with the buildup of concentration issues. ADHD is a huge thing. Anxieties, which are not really supposed to exist, especially as a man. All that kind of stuff. You want to stay away from that just because of that. And of course, with the spiritual aspects of it, you want to reinforce and reinvigorate and cultivate your psychic shield. You want to build up your aura. The way to do this is honestly through semen retention. It is honestly through staying away from pornography. Also, we're gonna talk about the witchcraft-like properties of pornography. Let's keep going. Last bit here. We got a final 10. So let's go this way. We were talking about witchcraft, right? Magic. So a lot of, I don't know if you guys have sort of read current events, but a lot of adult film stars have passed away recently, and it happens in droves. A lot of them just sort of, you know, fade into existence. They're getting deleted. Why is that a thing? Why is that the case, right? And it's because they are sort of delving into a world that they really don't understand magically. You see, a lot of these guys utilize witchcraft in order to market themselves or to have a lasting effect and place themselves as a perpetual image in the consumers. The consumers and the coomers, right? They mess with these things. They put seals on top of their bodies. Even a lot of production studios that film pornography. Oh, let's do some bodyweight squats. Let's do it. A lot of these production studios actually do a lot of rituals, a lot of invocation rituals, where they're trying to sort of summon a type of energy and a dark entity that has a desired effect. Forgot what number I'm at. I'm gonna assume that I'm gonna do 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. They summon these entities that they know slightly about. Of course, they were either took a recommendation from another spellcaster within that large industry of Hollywood or whatever, and they invoke these energies. A lot of after effects, a lot of collateral happens because of that invocation. And that's just something that has to be understood. And even if it is understood on that side, they are more interested in physical reward. They're more interested in putting a lasting effect on the consumers. You know, us straggling folk that have been lost in the world because we haven't been guided on this journey of life as men. They do these things, and then of course it comes with penalties. A lot of adult film stars passing away, a lot of them losing their lives. And of course it's other things too, like I said, because of these, every time you do release, right, when you are masturbating, especially to pornographic videos, these adult film videos, you are tying yourself. There are soul ties that are being created, a soul tie to that type of energy and vibration. The soul ties don't necessarily need to be with just a woman or an individual, right? We're hoping you guys are heterosexual on this channel. It could be with bodies of energy as well, which are these various pornographic videos and content that you consume. And you have to be careful because it makes it that much harder to release, so to speak, the habit when you're trying to get on semen retention. Let's do our final dip, and then we're gonna get out of here. Of course, we have all these so-called experts that tell you that masturbation is fine, right? They tell you that consumption of pornographic material is healthy. I think this is 7, 8, 9, 10. Did my 5. They sort of tell you that consuming pornographic material is healthy. We know the longer we are on this practice that we obtain this vision, of course, metaphysically speaking, and then of course, we build up this resistance. As the resistance forms based on the experiences that you're absorbing due to the reprogramming and reconditioning and cultivation of your subconscious, due to the practice and the influx of the God particle in semen, we now understand the malevolent, negative nature of pornography and release. We understand it more, and then we sort of refuse it way more. Closing statement, right? You really want to avoid that stuff. Release with pornography, release in general. Pornography is even worse because of the aforementioned invocations that a lot of these production studios place within their videos. A lot of what the porn stars, the adult film stars, put in there on themselves in the form of tattoos, the actions that they do mimicking old sacred dances that they know little about. Because like I said, with every release, you are connecting with them spiritually. And it'll make it that hard for you to sever that soul tie when you're trying to get on this practice or when you've sort of found the light, right? Stay away from that. Of course, like I said, with the physical stuff, the dopamine receptors are getting overloaded, right? With super stimuli, that comes from pornography, because that's just what it is. It's a super stimuli. It's not part of nature. It's not natural. Therefore, it's an overload of your receptors, like hamburgers. It will do you well to stay away from it completely. Learn yourselves, cultivate yourselves on sleep retention, and ascend. Stay away from these kind of things. Avoid release. Gentlemen, don't ever let this world get you down. Remember, there's a lot of dark spirits here. There's a lot of individuals that do not want to support, that do not want to see you succeed, do not want to see you ascend. And the moment you tap into this vibration, which means you stayed off pornography for a while, you've stopped releasing, and then you've risen, you've ascended, and then you are at a vibration where you are a perceivable threat to the demonic system, whose head is the hooded serpent, right? The cult of the serpent. You will be attacked, right, from all sides, whether it be people that have the ersatz, olive branches, or the people that outright hold their swords against you. There'll be no support, except with other people that have also felt the same thing. Stay radiant, my friends. I'll see you guys in the next video.